So as in today's video, I want to teach you how to cut straight skirts. So I'm working with Ankara fabrics. So if you want to cut a straight skirt, you only need your waist measurement, your hip measurement, and your knee measurement. That's the only measurements you need. So to start with, this is a 6 years Ankara fabric. I want to cut the skirt with just 2 yards. So the waist I'm working with 36. The round waist is 36. The hips is 44. Then from the waist to the knee is 22 inches. So I'll start with I'll measure the wider part of the hip, which is the wider part of the body, which is the hips. So I'll measure cut the right measurements you need. I've measured I want to first cut the front part. So I've measured the amount of fabric I'll be needing. So if you want to know the amount of fabric you need, you divide your hip by 2. If you want to cut for the front, I divided my hip by 2. That is the hip I'm working with is 44 inches, so I divided by 2. That is 22 plus 4 inches or 3 inches, depending on how the amount of fabric you're working with. So now you first get your vertical lines. So you first measure the skirt I want to cut is the skirt with band. The upper part you have the waist is band. So I will remove 2 inches from my tape rule for the band. Then from waist to hip is 9 inches, always constant, except you're cutting for a shorter length. Then from the waist to the nail is 22 inches. Then your full length. The full length I'm working with is 45. The whole length of Ankara fabric. So then 2 inches. Your 2 inches for hemming allowance. Then you mark it. Measure your horizontal line. You draw a straight line across all the line that you measured. This is the knee measurement, this is the nail, this is the hip, and this is the waistline. So I'm working with waistline 36 inches. So you divide the waist by 4. So that is 36 divided by 2. That is 18 inches. The 18 inches divided by 2. That is 9. The 9 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. That is 11 inches. So you come here, you mark on the waistline, you mark your 11 inches. So you come down to your hip. The hip I'm working with is 44 inches. So 44 divided by 4. That is 11 inches plus 2 inches sewing allowance. That is 13. You come here, you mark your 13 inches. So without your 13, if you want it pencil, you remove 1 inch from your waist. You put it on you measure it on your knee. But since you're working with straight cut, I don't want it to be too tight at the down part. So I'll bring what I have on my waist, on my hip that is 13 inches. You bring it down to your knee. Then you bring it out to your knee. You measure that 13 inches on the lower part. That is the length of the skirt. If you are very good at using freehand, you can use your, but if you have your leg off ruler, you can use it. You join the lines together. I believe you're seeing what I'm doing. Then you use your straight ruler to connect it to the down part. You can see it. Then you cut it out. So this is your front skirt. You notch the middle part. Then cut. Take the remaining fabrics. You set this one aside. Then you take the remaining fabric. Hip divide by 2 again, but this time around add 4 inches because it will have a slit at the back. So here at the close part here, you can see it. This is the open part. At the close part here, you mark 5 inches inward. You mark 5 inches inward. Then you use your straight ruler and bring it down. You mark it down. If you follow what I'm doing very well, you get it. Inward. Then the front part that you cut, bring it. Then you will make the front part that you finish cutting. You put it at the back of the line you measured. You can see it. You can see it. This is the line you measured. You leave the 5 inches in the front, then the front you place it on the top of the line. Then you trace it, you cut the hip part. this is it. Then you bring in the hip measurement. You minus the 2 inches for the band you measured. You bring it here. Then your 9 inches for hip, you bring it down. Your 22 inches for the knee, you bring it here. Then you make a straight line across it. Then at the waistline, measure just 1 inch. Then on the hip line, for the hip contouring, you measure 2 inch. Then you use your makeup filler. You join the line down to the knee line. Down to the knee line. You don't need to measure the knee line. You come in by 1 inch on the knee line. Then you join it together. Then you cut it out. Don't make a mistake of cutting it down. You stop at the knee line here. Then I hope you're seeing what I'm doing. Then you now open up the down part for the vent. I hope you can see it. Look at what I did here. Look at, this is the hip part. Then this is the space that you close it up. This is how you close it up. I will show you the outcome when I'm done. If you want to sew it now, you sew it from the waistline to the knee line here. Then you close it up like this. If you close it, automatically it will form the slit at the back. So that is basically how to cut a straight skirt. So if you have any question, or if you don't understand any part, you can ask me in the comment section. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.